I'm still here. So they thought we'll shut the media off. Look what I did. I found this goddamn thing on eBay and on Amazon, and I scrimped and scrounged so I could talk with you. And hopefully, there's over 8 billion. I may find 5 or 10 people of some common decency and a level of intellect to say they should not be allowed. This should never be allowed. Our children, we, our families, our friends, our neighbors, not because of the color of faith, our friends, without bigotry, without prejudice, they show an element of care. So here I go again. Since the 6th of January, there is only one place lawfully allocated for self-proclaimed patriots: federal prisons. Federal prisons of all places. God bless you, President Trump. You led them to federal prisons. Where are you going to lead this country to? And President Biden, he is too busy blowing bubbles up the holes of his sycophants and the puppeteers. Nobody gives a blind bit of crap about people like me. Who am I? Nobody. Oh, if I lived in Detroit, I would be one of the, what do you call them, jihadists? Because of my name? But in my life, at 64 years of age, most of the people I've mixed with, they've been Christians or Jews, mostly whites, some blacks, and then the rest of the candy floss thrown in. I deal with human beings. I have always dealt with human beings. Not because of the shape, size, color, sex, figure, hair color, eye color. Human beings, it made my life easier. So when I sat in the ICU changing bandages or cleaning gangrene wounds on veterans, I smelled nothing. It was pure joy. Pure joy that in my miserable life I was actually able to provide some comfort to someone who needed more than I did. Proud of it. Everything I state is in black and white as precedent in law and in government records and archives. If you are an American, bad grammar. If you are an American high school graduate or a PhD, but deficient in reading and writing skills, ask the nearest Indian who has been imported for his or her intellect and capabilities. Hey, donkeys, we get them from Mexico. They are here from manual labor, the new kind of slavery. So to drive the US juggernaut, you need a driver. Get the friggin' Indians. They have degrees. Look at the top Fortune 500 companies, CEOs, all Indians. Not Indians, the ones you killed and you hanged and you murdered. The Indians from the subcontinent. Because also your skills and history are extremely poor. That I'll get back to from my own experiences when I spoke with or met with people of high US intellect from the USA. Yeah, USA. Think about it. So the Indians, they'll be more than happy to oblige. Just do not ask for a spare dollar with a cheesy grin. Indians are not very good at dishing out free dollars. No, they don't have a free dollar. They don't have a spare dollar, but they will talk with you. The responsibility to hold the criminals accountable lie solely with the DOJ, Department of Justice, also known as the grazing ground for juvenile jackasses. Well, that's how they're referred to. Because seldom a statement of intellect comes from them. Very seldom. GBI, they acknowledged. FBI, they acknowledged. They said, oh my God, man, what the hell have you been through? This needs to be investigated, so the FBI says, we need a push from the DOJ. Yep, the DOJ, Department of Justice, and their Assistant Attorneys General who said, I'm closing the file. There is nothing here. Whereas the AAG, the Assistant Attorney General, reviewing the files for the last 2 years and answering to Senator Warnock's office, they're still reviewing it. 3 years have gone since the FBI, Agent McCabe, and much more. They're reviewing it. By the time this series of episodes for the podcast are completed, I can assure you, you will not be left with a shadow of doubt that the executive performs two functions with distinction and dysfunction. Dysfunctionality and criminality in various forms. Yes, and we pay for the chameleon that is ours to elect and then seek their representation. In Hunter and Trump, yin and yang, you will see in action. I'm not going to go giving you a lecture on that. Google it. You're good at that. It very much depends on the day upon whom the sun shines and who is doomed. PACs, super PACs, puppeteers, whatever you call them. When you get off your ass and you try to deal with the system, time and again, the same response came. Who do I turn to? I even got angry with God. Now I had made peace. If you have made peace, then why the hell do you look so angry? Why are you so cranky? Why have you forgotten how to be polite? Your eyes do not correspond with your mouth. Your mouth does not correspond with your facial expressions. You're all living a lie. Don't you know it? Hey, who cares? I'm American. I'm proud of it. I'm free. My Constitution says so. You are in deep shit. Denial, deflect, destroy. So you're going to destroy me while you're denying and deflecting from reality? Here goes. In Illinois, a man in his 70s killed a 6-year-old Muslim boy and stabbed his mother. It's called a hate crime. He's been arrested. He's white. Blah, blah, blah. What? You just woke up? You did that to the Jews 100 years ago in this country. Now at times Jews are doing it back to you. You did it to the blacks. Now the blacks are doing it back to you. So what's going to happen next? The browns? What? Oh, hang on a minute. You did it to the Chinese and the Japanese, didn't you? Read your history. So when somebody hits you back in self-defense, and it happens to be a Muslim, what's he going to be? A jihadist? A terrorist? Shame on you. Shame on you. I'm living proof I've done no wrong. I was born a Muslim. I'm proud. Most of the clientele I served, they're Christians, Catholics, Jews, Buddhists, men, women, transgender, lesbian, same-sex, whatever you want to call them. Hence, I was qualified and I was designated the title of a dual and triple diagnosis mental health rehab specialist. Not by I, State of California. So, back to it. Joseph Zuba, 71, was charged with murder and hate crime for stabbing his tenants over a dozen times in Plainfield, Illinois. Do I look surprised? The first time I suffered racism was in UK when I joined a college as a student, a foreign student. So we'll visit that at a later stage. Right now, let's stick with the law, the patriotism, the constitution, country of laws, blah, 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 and a sack full of shit in the name of patriotism while we go causing destruction at home and abroad. And as a true patriot, President Trump will vouch for that. Take into consideration, he never lifted a finger in his sorry ass of a life to provide shelter to one or anyone in this country or this country. So maybe my English is poor, play tell me. What does the word patriot mean? Feel free to let me know. Take your time. After all, you've taken 300 years and more. I'm sure you'll come up with something, like killing the innocent and calling it collateral damage. You're wonderful at wordsmith. Oh yes. In the South, brothers and sisters play games. They're called games. Others will call it rape, incest. Here, they play games. It's just a game, hide and seek. I'll visit that later because these were true cases that were referred from the Department of Juvenile Justice. And all the hierarchy and all these agencies and all these specialists in mental health, all they did was serve poop because they are nothing but poop. And that's why the case has gone to federal court. God bless them. Eventually, parents found out that this state is doing more harm to their children in the name of mental health than anybody ever cared listen to or acknowledge. So we'll get back to it. Let's stick to the basics. Georgia, legal system, corruption, corrupt judges, corrupt politicians, and all to bury one man, that is I. So, this 71-year-old in Plainfield, Illinois, he has been charged with murder and a hate crime after stabbing a child and his mother because they were Muslims, in an attack that killed the 6-year-old boy and left his mother seriously wounded. Since then, 3 Palestinian students, well, they're of Palestinian origin, they've been shot randomly by a white dude. Because I'm sure you figured out by now, being white gives you the entitlement and the power of being the sheriff on call. Good thing is, it saves you a lot in legal fees and courts and this and that and the other. You can just stand there, have a gun, legally obtained or illegally, shoot somebody. It's a white privilege. Isn't that right, Karen? Oh, I've met Karens. Lots of them.